What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Hellfire with MachineMasters.com, bringing you another MPC tutorial. Today what I'm going to go over is how to get a filtered bass line from your sample. Basically, the objective of that is to basically separate the high frequencies from the low frequencies in your sample, so you can manipulate them and affect them separately and differently without them affecting each other. I got a program here and a sample. You guys probably all know what this is. And so I'm just gonna lay it down a quick 2-bar loop of this. Right away you can hear that as the sample plays back, the highs and the lows or the treble and the bass, in other words, are all together, you know, in one channel, one output. So anything I do to one is gonna directly affect the other one. So what we want to do is we want to separate that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to first copy this track. So I'm doing this from my hardware. I'm going to go to the track field and I'm pressing window and I'm going to copy the track to track 2. So now I got a duplicate track. Track 1 and track 2 got the same thing on it. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go to track 2 and I want to make a copy of the program, or a duplicate of the program that's on track 2. So I can do that from the hardware, or I can just go into the software here, right click and duplicate, and then assign that new program to track 2. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to mute track 2. I'm going to play this back on, go back to track 1. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to go into program edit. I'm gonna turn edit zones to all, so anything I do to one pad is gonna affect every pad in the program. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna filter out all the low frequency, or most of the low frequency, from track 1. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna select a high pass filter. And right now, since the cutoff is maxed out, it's basically cutting all the low frequencies. So what I want to do is I want to go all the way back on this to 0, and I want to slowly roll off those lows until I have it where I want it. Now I don't want to make it too light, and you know, and I don't want it to be too bassy. So I want to find a happy medium. I think 50 sounds good. So I'm going to let that rock. And I'm going to go to my track 2. And I'm gonna unmute that and let that play back. And it's gonna sound weird for a minute, but you'll see what we're gonna be doing. So I'm gonna go back into program edit. Again, turn my edit zones to all. I'm gonna turn the cutoff all the way down on this one to 0. And I'm gonna put a low pass filter on this one. So right now what this did is it cut all the highs from the second program. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring some of that back in so I can get some of that mid bass back into the sample. I'm gonna bring it up to about 50 where I cut the other one off, and this is gonna pick up where the other one left off. So this cutoff basically translates into hertz, which is frequency of audio. Basically, the first program, we have it say it's probably from 200 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz. Now on the low side here, the low pass, we probably have it from 200 all the way down to 0 or whatever. And that's basically it. You know, there's really nothing more to it. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and play this back again and solo each one and see how they sound on their own. So I'm gonna mute track 1. Now I just have the lows. Now I have both. Now if I want, I can drop the bass out, bring it back in. Now, if you really want to get fancy, you can go ahead and throw a plug-in on that bass and maybe, I don't know, play with the low frequency a little more. Take that, give it a little boost down there. Somewhere around there. And you can see when I do that, it's not drowning out the other one because the bass is on a separate channel. Normally, if I were to put the same plug-in, you know, on the original sample, adding bass to it would drown out the other one a little bit. So when you do it like this, you can affect it differently and, you know, play with the frequencies a little bit more. And I can go on this one, you know, and let's see what I got. I'll put a fab filter. Something like that, you know, and now they're completely independent, so I can do a bass drop. And the other good thing this is for is if you're not a skilled musician and you find it hard to find the right bass line for your beats. When you sample stuff, a lot of times you already have a pre-existing bass line within the sample. So this technique just brings that bass out and allows you to manipulate it, and basically it covers your low frequency, which you might not have been able to do with a synthesizer. So yeah, that's basically it. If you got any questions, hit me up, leave some comments. Be sure to check out hellfirebeats.com, machinemasters.com, and all that. Peace.